Coming up, even the New York Times admits, it's very gleeful about it, trying to scare you, that everything, your purchases, your records, your school evaluations, everything to be held in a giant database on every American. Now the Republicans have passed a gun grab bill that will be a national database as well of everything, your whole history, your whole life. This is the great conservatism under Lord Bush. The House has passed the nightmare Homeland Security bill. It's moving to the Senate. Buried in it, smallpox revisions hidden in Homeland Security bill for the Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. A few months ago, I had the American Association of Physicians and Surgeons on about the Court of Appeals ruling that they can grab American citizens, not charge them with crimes, and drug them indefinitely, in the case of a doctor, 5 years before trying him for so-called Medicaid or Medicare fraud. This is the Soviet Union, folks. This is the system. And joining us is Catherine Sturck, a spokesperson for the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. We have a link to this press release on Infowars.com in the guest section. Catherine, great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, I got 3 words for everybody. Son of MEHPA.
Say that again?
Son of MEHPA.
Are you on a speakerphone?
Well, I'm on a headset. How are we doing there? Is that better?
Yeah, you'll have to say it slower. Maybe I'm missing what you're saying.
Yeah, I said son of MEHPA. We've got, what they did was they took those emergency powers acts that all of your folks worked so hard to help defeat at the state level. They took out the word governor and now put in Secretary of HHS and gave him the powers.
Tommy Thompson?
Well, you know, it could be Tommy Thompson this time. It could be a Donna Shalala or a Jocelyn Elders or whomever. Whoever we get as secretary. This is not just under this administration when these bills pass. So, so many people worked so hard. There was such an outrage, an outcry from everyone at the state level. And then it magically appears in the federal version.
Well, I said they would pass it at the federal level to interface with the states. The state legislation is just a capitulation to federal demands and command and control systems. Homeland Security. Hitler, Stalin would be proud. There's nothing to protect us. Everything to totally destroy the Bill of Rights. Tell us exactly what these provisions say. I've got them here in front of me.
Yeah, it's too bad because, there are some good things in this bill, though. For example, the arming the pilots did make it through.
What is that, 2%, or is that all of them?
Well, it was at least, it was pulling in the bill that was previously there was stuck in this. So
yeah, if they jump through 500 flaming hoops, they might be able to carry a gun, 2% of them. Barbara Boxer was for arming all of them, but Bush wasn't.
I know. So it's not, so we're... there are some good things in it, and there's some horrible things in it. This is one of the horrible things. What it does is it gives the Secretary of HHS the power to make a declaration that we have a bioterrorist incident, now here's the kicker, or other incident that is either real or potential.
Well, that's what the state provision said. The headline, the Daily Oklahoman said, for the mere threat of a bio attack,
exactly.
Forced inoculation, total gun confiscation.
Exactly. So then what he is allowed to do then is take countermeasures. Now, the problem is that the countermeasures are not defined. So when we see language like that, we say the problem is that it's too much power with one person because a countermeasure can be anything he says it is, and a threat or an incident can be anything he says it is.
It's carte blanche, dictatorial, mammoth, Caesar-like power.
And maybe I'm just stupid and I can't find it, but I don't see a check and balance in this. And, you wonder about this because, if there's one thing that is consistent about Congress, they usually don't like to hand off their power. So you got to wonder about this. Now, let me tell everybody, I hate to get into the process story about the background, but let me tell you a little bit about it. The fact is that this bill was fast-tracked. It was a 484-page version that most members got about 24 hours ago. That's not enough time to read legislation. What people like us, we do, is we skim through to try to see if there's something that jumps out at us. But I haven't read the entire bill either.
Well, it's like the Patriot Act. Congressmen were not allowed to read it until it was brought up, and the thing is 1,016 sections long.
There you go, and it was posted, it wasn't even posted on Thomas, because I know a lot of your guys are used to flipping through bills and doing the searches on the Thomas website. It was that you had to get it through the Rules Committee. Now, we posted it yesterday.
Thomas.libraryofcongress.gov.
.gov. So we posted a PDF file so that people could take a look at it and at least take a look at this section. But
AAPSonline.org,
exactly.
Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, a voice of private physicians since 1943.
But that's a concern again. It might not be bad. Maybe they didn't intend it to mean things like like detainment or anything. Oh, and here's one other thing that we didn't mention, and that is that the Secretary of HHS can extend these, quote, countermeasures to a selected category of individuals. Now, a concern that could be, that sounds like, I mean, it could be by disease status, it could be by geography.
Specific groups will be forcibly inoculated.
Yeah, and actually, you know, this is not just a conservative issue, because if you take some of the left-wing groups that are all concerned about profiling Muslims or Arab Americans, you know, they should be up in arms about this as well.
Now, this just passed. This Homeland Security thing just passed the House.
Passed through last night, and it's already over to the Senate. What we can't track down, I'd like to tell everybody the Senate bill number, but we can't find the Senate bill number yet because that's not posted yet, and we've got the calls in. But here's what we need to do. Tell the White House and tell your senators that that the section should be removed that allows for countermeasures against smallpox.
Now, let me boil this down for folks. Let me boil this down for folks. My friends, the Daily Oklahoman said it best. If the state was to pass the state version, all guns could be confiscated and forced inoculations for the mere threat of smallpox or biologicals. I mean, this is it. This is total dictatorship.
Yeah, the concern is that we have some three pretty simple paragraphs, but what they don't say is just mountains, and that's our concern. What we're saying is, look, do not pass something like this until we have an honest accounting of what the powers are. If you want to force vaccines, let's say straight out